Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris,
And I'm not Karina,
but we're here together
as usual.
for more fun times and
shenanigans.
If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the Madhouse. It gets silly, and we are in a mood today. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses and conditions.
Yep.
We both have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome type 3 or hypermobility type or whatever it's called today.
And then like a slew of mental
exactly.
issues.
And then a slew of comorbidities,
Yes.
which is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a little more experiential and a little less on the clinical side, but hopefully you find something that you can relate to.
If you want to catch us anywhere else, we're on YouTube. If you want to see us do the podcast, we're on
YouTube.
What did I say?
You said I don't know what the first one was.
YouTube. Well, yeah, we're on YouTube.
Look YouTube.
YouTube. Listen to Spotify, Audible, Google Play or Google Podcasts, and the other big one. The other big one. And then a lot of little sites. You can also join us on Discord if you want to talk, hang out. We do live streams on Friday and Saturday, and it's fun.
It is
So
fun.
join in.
It's a good time. And then, of course, the Discord is a wonderful place full of wonderful people. So even if you're just lurking, hang out.
Yeah.
See what's up. Today is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah. We got this from Ruth and Crystal. Not Ruth and Crystal, Ruth and Krieg.
Yes.
Talking about stuff in the Discord.
Yes.
So go to the Discord.
So we're going to talk about the journey versus looking for a cure for things, as well as a few other things that kind of fall into that category. It's going to be a really good conversation because we talk about pieces of this a lot in passing, but I think it'll be really cool to dive into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And fully explore the ideas.
But
first, he beat me to it. It is time for the weekly recap. But
Check
if I
in.
don't sing it, he's going to cry.
I will. I was about to. I was getting ready to be mad.
He's like, it's time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed.
Whew, I feel better.
Let the demons out.
Let the demons
Wah!
You want to go first
This
or should I
week.
go first?
What happened this week?
Look at your phone. I'll start because I know what I did.
Yeah,
You
go for it.
recap yourself.
Yeah.
You get caught up on your
I'm like,
life.
I don't know.
Catch up and see what's going on in your world. Let's see. We had a long week. There were 2
was a
days that were really
long
bad.
Because we also had, it was the week of 4th of July.
Yeah.
So that starting off is already kind of a long week. But yeah.
Yeah. So we did Sunday. I rested because I was beat after
Yes.
recording last week. I don't know what it was.
A good time though.
It was
We had a
great.
Really good time.
And then Monday happened. Nothing happened for you on Monday. I remember not having fun though. It was
No.
it was a pain day and a fatigue day.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that was the day that I messaged you and I was like, I'm hangry. I have
And
to
I was
wait
like,
till
I'm
Friday.
gonna bring you things on Tuesday. Or on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
And she
Yeah.
did.
I brought him groceries and provisions, and
Because I have demons that eat my food before I get to it.
he has small fry, and they are growing, and so they are consuming an
God.
unbelievable amount of.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
They're like, "Is it food? It's mine now, and it's in my face.
Right.
Goodbye."
It's interesting because Sophie asks every time if she can have
Yeah.
something, but Rory absolutely will not. He will steal things and then sneak them up the stairs. And then it's like, I know what you're doing.
He's a little bit of a He just reminds me a lot of our little brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's just a little food demon,
Mm-hmm.
which is fair. Like,
Yeah. No, and he's not doing anything
growing.
bad. It's not like
No.
he's getting into food he shouldn't. He makes his own food.
he does.
He goes on YouTube and he learns how to make scrambled eggs or how long to microwave whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's a go-getter. So I'm like, go be a chef, have fun.
Maybe we can cook with them tonight.
Oh.
Because I brought 2 meals over.
Dude, we should.
That
He would
be
love
fun.
that.
Teach them how to do that so that
Mhm.
when they get the extra meals, they can
Mhm.
just go through the instructions.
That's a good idea.
That would be really cool. Maybe
Mhm.
we'll do that.
Maybe. Then Wednesday. Well, Tuesday happened. Tuesday was uneventful for me.
Yeah.
Oh no,
we didn't do
Tuesday.
anything.
Tuesday wasn't uneventful. Tuesday, I I called. I did a visual or a virtual appointment.
Yeah.
I've been having.
No, was it Tuesday? Because Tuesday was 4th of July, wasn't it?
Wednesday was 4th of July.
No,
or am I backwards?
Wednesday we celebrated. Tuesday.
Oh,
was
okay,
4th
yeah,
of
yeah,
July.
yeah. No, it was Tuesday. No, Monday.
It was Monday.
Moontag.
Yeah, because 4th was Tuesday. Sorry, we're a mess.
Yeah, but I had to do a virtual visit with my doctor because I was running a low grade fever, and my tinnitus that I only developed post sepsis flared up to the point where I was losing all sound.
Yeah.
And starting to black out, which is very similar to having sepsis when you're in an altered mental state, which is what happens when the cytokines get into your brain and they cause inflammation.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So I was worried about that. So we did an appointment, and she was like, "You should probably go in." And I was like, and didn't.
I know, he was messaging me, and he was like, "They said I should probably go to the emergency room," and I was like, "Damn, that sounds sketchy." And
It
he
just
was
doesn't.
like, "I'm just not gonna," and I was like, "Fair."
It doesn't
because
seem the same. Like,
here's the thing: it's not that we're like reckless or anti-doctor. It's that we kind of know
where it'll go.
what's going on, and
Yeah.
we're like, it's either like it's concerning for me and I don't like it, but it's nothing,
Yeah.
or I'm not concerned at all and it's something big.
I was mainly like wanted to know about the tinnitus because it got bad and I
Yeah.
hate it. Like it's what Ben has to go through on the daily.
Well, with 2 frequencies, oh
Mhm.
land,
I couldn't handle it. And you know what sucks? Using the vape makes
Yeah.
it worse.
Oh yeah, well, because using the vape, okay, here's secret time.
Secrets.
It worsens symptoms of POTS.
That explained the okay. So it is connected to blood pressure then,
I think it is,
because when my blood pressure was changing on Monday and Tuesday, that's
Mhm.
when I was getting the really
because
bad.
that's really what does it for me when
gotcha.
I have like blood pressure dumps,
Yeah.
where it's all like, haha, bye.
Bye. Yep.
One of the warnings I get is the ringing in my ears, and then the
Okay.
inability to hear anything but the ringing in my
Yeah.
ears.
Exactly.
Or it feels like muffled,
hmm
and yeah. It's
Okay. No, that makes
So-
me feel a lot better because I thought it was blood pressure connected.
Mhm.
And
Well, and we had some really bad. There were like, we had some days this week that were like fatiguey.
mhm.
Because remember, I messaged you and I was like, I want to do stuff and I
Can't.
can't
Yep.
get moving. I can't.
Same. I was like in the same boat. I just curled up
Yeah.
and I wanted to do things. I was gung ho to do
I
stuff.
know, and I was like, I wasted so much time not being able to do things.
Yeah.
But it was frustrating because I was like, I can't shower.
Mhm.
Oh, that's one of the things I did this week is I gave up on trying to shower during one of those really bad fatiguey POTS days.
Yeah.
And I just took a bath and I was
Nice.
like, I defeated it by getting around it.
Nice.
Am I still passing out because I took a bath and passed out the entire time?
Yes.
Yes. Am
No,
I
you
clean?
took a nap.
Am I clean
Wait,
now?
She didn't black out. It
Yes.
was a nap. It was a nap.
It was a nap. I took
That's
a nap.
what
It's
they
fine.
tell me when I go into the ER.
I don't faint in the tub. That's silly.
Anyways, so okay, then we had after I ignored doctor's advice
Mhm.
because I could tell it wasn't urgent. It was like she
No.
was worried, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay,
Well, it's because they don't have context.
right, yeah, exactly. So we did Wednesday. We decided to do
We celebrated.
birthdays. We
Yeah.
did. There three people in the house have July birthdays, so we did
Yeah.
all of them together. Our grandfather,
Mhm.
my wife, and me.
Yes.
So Jen and I, and it was fun. We had you guys come over. We grilled.
Mhm.
You guys brought brats. It
Mm-hmm.
was delicious. Oh my god! And cake and pie. It was really good, especially for like how impromptu it was.
Yeah.
You know, we were just like,
I know,
we should do
it turned
things.
out great. Like, hubby and I hit the store and we picked up a bunch of stuff, and we had brats from last year that had been in our freezer because we go to the farmers market
Yeah.
and there's this sweet little
Dude, they were so good.
right, sweet little. Oh my god, not German, Austrian. Thank you, Austrian man who sells these
Yeah.
amazing authentic brats. So good. So we brought over a bunch of them and
Oh,
let
God, it was good.
people pick like what we wanted to make, and even the kids tried some.
Yeah, they did. And Roy liked it.
Yeah,
I was
it
impressed
was
with him.
good stuff.
And then Bug came over, the
Yep.
little brother.
Yeah.
And we got to hang out for a bit. It was really nice.
It was.
And
It
I got
was-
degenerate money.
He did. He got birthday money.
Got money to
So
put
that-
on digital currency that doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I have
it
to
was so
give Jen
good.
her degenerate money because I don't know what to get her.
You can give her
for
the same thing.
birthday, But I could just give her some
If,
degenerate.
if you do the same thing, because we do pulls together, like
Oh,
we
okay.
play the game at
Yeah.
night together.
because I can Venmo her.
Yeah,
I'll do
For
that.
sure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And tell her it's not for food because she'll save it and spend it on food for the kids.
No.
I gave her money and she did the same thing. I finally sold the deck.
Oh, yeah.
And I had money, so I gave her like half. She spent it on food. I was like,
Aw.
dude. I know it, like, she didn't have to make dinner for a night, but I was hoping
Yeah.
she would do something more. But whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, hopefully having the meals helps a bit. There's pieces that I left at home on accident. Oops, I have to bring them over.
that's fine.
It's the dry elements.
Okay. And then the rest of the week just kind of happened. I I tried to get my meds filled at Walgreens on Friday, and they literally just said no.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
They like it was. I think it was because it was like right when they were able to be filled. Like it was the day that I was able to fill again.
Yeah.
So we just went and I hit the refill button on the
Yeah.
phone.
They are
Too soon. Too soon.
awful.
They say.
They're awful.
And they're like, technically we could fill it, but we're not going to.
Which is crazy because like they have it.
Right.
It's not that they don't have it. And like, of course you want to fill when you can fill. Because sometimes they don't have it. And then you
Exactly.
have to wait and it's horrible.
So yeah, that was my fight.
Yeah.
And then we did the live last night, which was really cool.
Yep.
We didn't get to do it on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. we had technical difficulties.
Mhm.
We couldn't get the stream working
Yeah.
for YouTube, but we replaced it.
Mhm.
We got a new capture card, or a cam link is what it's called now.
Well,
It's
and
awesome.
it didn't work yesterday and we were like, hop on real quick, order that thing, and it came overnight. It was great.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then we did our live today.
Yep.
When nobody was there, but it was still fun.
Yes.
Like you guys could still watch it.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good stuff.
And then she had a week.
And then I had a week. Husband, Randy Michael. Hey. Never mind.
What?
We're not gonna know what day it was that he helped me do things.
Oh, okay.
I can't. Hey, you. What day was the day that you promised me coffee in exchange for doing stuff? Was that Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I was like burnt because Sunday you were laid out and I was gonna be laid out, but I had wanted to go to the farmer's market and my husband is a smart man
Mm-hmm.
and is able to be like, he was like, "Are you sure you don't want to go?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to shower and I don't want to go out and I smell terrible because I have night sweats and those suck."
God, I
And-
hate that.
Oh, I hate it because then I can't like just be like, "Oh, I'll just not shower today."
Right.
I can't do that because I wake up in a stew of my own heat and it's horrible
Yeah.
and I don't know why. And I'm still waking up midnight like every single night.
Mhm.
Not midnight, but
In the middle of her
middle
sleep.
of sleeping.
So she'll hit like REM and then wake up.
yeah.
Right? Like
It's ridiculous. I wake up at it depends on it's between like 2:30 in the morning and like 4 in the morning.
yeah.
That I'm waking up almost and every single night, and it's super annoying, but now I'm getting used to it and I'm like, okay, I'll just
I'll
follow
just
this
adapt.
routine
Yep.
and figure it out. I don't know,
That's how we do. We function. Like
Yeah.
new thing that happens, adapt.
it's obnoxious.
Like I didn't get to sleep most of this week until like 3 a.m. And then I'm
Yeah.
up at 7. And I'm not like sleepy at 7. I'm like,
I know.
let's get up and do things.
Well,
I'm
that's-
wide awake.
That's the worst part about waking up in the middle of the night is I'm like, I'm awake
Right.
and I'm ready to go. And then my therapist before was like, go to sleep later, and I have been.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to sleep at like 11 o'clock,
That's way late.
11:30.
Yeah.
And still be waking up in the middle of the night, and then still be up at like 8:30.
Yeah.
Meh. Don't like it. But I had one Evan attack this week, which is the trigeminal neuralgia, and it came on really fast and then went away, which was nice.
Thank God.
It didn't last very long at all, and that was on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday we didn't do anything. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Monday we had my in-laws' anniversary,
yeah.
so we had dinner over there. It was
That's
just
sweet.
a busy week.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like one
Every
thing
day
after
had
another.
stuff.
Yeah. So Tuesday didn't do nothing. Did nothing.
Good.
Oh, Monday I also had a workout, and that was me. I injured my back a couple weeks ago, and it's still not right, and it just hurts a lot and is worse day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not having a good time.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I also have the back pains.
Yes.
Like my old pain from when I had a tumor
Mhm.
that reaches from my spine around my side and then to the front, where it feels like I'm getting stabbed. It's
Yeah.
like a trail of pain and then at the end.
Can you reach out to like directly to the person who did the surgery?
I have, and
Okay.
last time we talked, he was just like, nothing's really there that I can do anything about. Like he looked at it, was like,
could you look again?
Yeah, we could
if
probably.
If you're like, hey, it's the same kind of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I also wonder if it's not that's causing the pain. I wonder if you have something similar with like the pelvic girdle.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Yeah.
We talk a lot about how like our core, sometimes it's really difficult to maintain holding yourself up.
Yeah.
And I get really bad pain, and this is part of the pain that I have right now, where something happened in like my SI.
Yeah.
But I feel it in the front and in my tailbone, and it's just the whole thing is awful. But then I get the like really bad, my guts are on fire is back.
Yep.
Because we went through how long did that last before? It was a really long time.
Yeah.
I was like, my guts hurt, my guts hurt,
Dude.
my guts hurt, my guts hurt. And I think that that's from like I'm working out again.
Right.
And so the tighter the muscles are, everything is just, it's not a good thing down there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be more active at the gym, but I didn't go on Thursday.
You still hit it this week.
Yeah. And I need to go and do like cardio rounds, because I was just telling Chris, I don't fit in my pants anymore. I had a restful summer of gaining weight.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
But you don't want to have to buy new clothes.
Exactly. It's a bad thing in the way of like, I could lose 8 to 10 pounds, or I could buy an entirely new wardrobe. So I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks and try to do like an hour a day.
Don't mind me. I'm just setting up a random thing on
terrible.
my phone.
And you can let me know if you want to go anytime, because I think go in the mornings while he's back at summer school.
See, that's the thing too, is like every time that you guys offered, I'm always like winding down for the day. Like,
so let's do in like the mornings.
If we do a morning,
we could do like 10 a.m. or something, and see if we can go and do some cardio.
Like all three of us?
No, he'll be at work, but we could do 2:30s on those days.
Okay. You
could go with him.
Because but I have to do cardio.
I have to do my cardio earlier in the day so that I can do it and still go to my training appointments.
Yeah, I gotcha.
What else happened this week?
You did the birthday stuff.
Yep, we did the birthday, and that was really fun.
And you had therapy.
Oh yeah, I had therapy, and I cried again, and yeah.
Yeah, she didn't bail on you though.
No. And she finally understood part of what I was saying.
Yeah.
Which was so huge that she was like, oh, I get it now. And then she was able to approach from a different angle instead of trying to like make me fit into her like assumed story.
Yeah, exactly.
And then having me be like, no, but you're off base. None of that makes sense. So now she's like, oh, I get it. And then she walked through and was like, is that accurate? And I was like, yes, that's exactly it. That's 100% accurate. And she was like, okay, cool. I know what to do now.
Yeah. No, it was cool to listen to. Like you could hear her working. She's like, oh, I think I get it. I think I got it. And then she was like talking about, she's like, oh, it's this that's doing that. And you're like, yeah.
And she apologized. She was like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. I know you've said it before, but I missed it. Mm-hmm. And that's huge that she was able to be like, you were trying to tell me and I missed what you were saying.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
It's like we're always saying, you got to find a doctor who's not afraid to be wrong.
Right. Well, and like be able to pick up on it and run with it, which was super helpful. And then she was like, you did great work and it was the most authentic I've seen you. And I'm like, it's not that I've not been authentic. It's that we've been like in this weird parallel universe where you think one thing's happening and I'm like, no, it's like
incorrect. We said, she didn't make the connection that her
her response
is why you were able to be that way. Yeah,
we were able to get to breakthrough.
Yeah.
And then I cried, and then she didn't leave, which was amazing. It took forever to get in because their system is terrible.
It was horrible.
And they're supposed to be moving to Zoom soon, so
that'll be nice.
But she's usually like right on time or like 2-3 minutes before the session ends. She's like, okay, reschedule, bye. And in the past she's made me cry and then left me hanging.
She went like 15-20 minutes over
because it took so long to get in.
Yep.
And then finally we got somewhere and she was like, okay, got it.
Well, she wanted you to go with it too. She was like, instead of doing the bail, she was like, follow
like,
that.
Keep going.
You're getting there.
Yeah. So it was nice. It was intense and exhausting.
Yeah.
But it was breakthrough-ish. So
totally.
That was nice.
For both people.
Yes. Like, and it's so nice to like, okay, now you hear me. Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Which is why I've been like hanging on and being like, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll wait and see what happens. So it's an interesting program that we're running. And then the next thing is to write a bunch of unsent letters to people in my life that I haven't
and
been
not
able
send
to say
them.
things to. Yeah.
Don't send them out.
That was so funny. She was telling me about a client who was like, no, I did it with that person. And she was like, that's not, no.
Right.
Don't do that.
Oh, man, see, I'd want to. If I wrote letters, I would want to give them to people.
Yeah.
Even if they were bad, I'd be like, if I'm writing a bad letter to you, there's a reason.
Right. Well, the interesting thing is that there's like a reflection that you write after you write the letters.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go back and you read the letters and you reflect on what you've written and like what you've learned about whatever it is.
Whatever it be.
Whatever it be. So, yeah, it was interesting. It was good stuff. And then we had a really good live, and that was really fun.
It was good. We had We had Doggo and Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole crew almost.
Yeah. It was really nice. It was good stuff.
Yeah. It was supposed to be light and breezy, and then we got into heavy subjects.
I know.
And
then we had to like redirect because I was like, oh no, that was out of left field. But it was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good time.
And again, if you guys want to join in or just watch the streams, Discord's the way to do it.
Yes.
We've got YouTube set up now. I think where it's stable, but if you want to participate, Discord's easier.
Yes. Well, and you can participate via voice, which is really nice, and via video, instead of just in the chat.
Yeah. And then the links are down below. Yeah. So
yes,
find it.
Join us. One of us.
One of us.
Okay. So let's jump in, shall we?
Shall
it? So Chris named this jokingly Journey versus The Cure.
If you get it, you get it. And you're also old. I hate to tell you.
Dad rock.
But, well, no. See, Austin, we get this, though.
Yeah.
He just knows too much.
Dad rock at this point.
No, it is. It totally is.
Come on.
But yeah, Journey versus The Cure. Being born with a chronic or invisible disease versus like having it flare up later in life, or like because it's there the whole time, but it can kick in and you don't know it until you're older.
The thing is that we've talked a lot about the fact that we were symptomatic as long as we can remember. There have always been signs and symptoms of especially Ehlers-Danlos, as well as like POTS and MCAS and some other sneaky things that we're still kind of peeling back layers to. But other people, like you said, it doesn't happen that way.
Right.
For some people, their illness flares for the very first time or nearly the first time after like a trauma or an accident or like something else that sets the system on edge.
Right.
And then the impacts of, because it's still a genetic condition, right? Like it's been there, like you said, the whole time. The puppy was there the whole time. It's been there the whole time, but some people, and I don't really want to say are lucky enough, because I feel like
it's more unlucky that way.
Yes. And we'll explain why. It's hard to like look at it and be like, oh, but you had this much time of like normalcy.
Right.
Well, how could that be unlucky? Yeah, no. There are reasons.
Yes.
But yeah, that first flare up, and then that leads to the downhill trend of more symptoms coming into existence kind of later in life. Like we've heard of people reaching their 40s before they know anything is wrong.
Oh yeah. If you look up like EDS videos, I think one of the first couple ones I found back in the day, which they're probably more now, are people talking about what age they discovered they had EDS. So it's not just getting diagnosed, but like some of them are like, I didn't even have symptoms until I was in my 40s or 50s. Yeah. And then they got hit hard.
Right. Which is interesting, because if you look at like our genetic pool, our dad is mostly asymptomatic, right? Yeah. Like he has some quirks, but they're mostly they're quirks not necessarily symptoms. Yeah. But then he has 3 out of his 6 children, which is also funny because it's a 50-50 shot of giving it to kids. So 50-50, there you go.
He did it.
3 out of the 6 of us are for sure impacted and then have been impacted.
Like I think all of us have quirks.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It's just there are the three of us that have got it.
Yes.
And bad.
Yes. So the differences really live in the fact that when you are born ill or you have been symptomatic for most of your life, you have a different understanding of your symptoms.
Yes.
You have a different understanding of how to work with your symptoms. It's really a leg up.
Yeah.
It sounds more unfortunate, right? To like, no, I've never been normal ever and I don't know what normal looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like, oh yeah, I had 35 good years before whatever.
It's like we had growing up with it, we've adapted, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've just taken everything in and developed our own way to do things.
Yeah.
And there's no loss.
Right.
Like when people develop it later, it's like it changes their life, their life plan, everything. So there's a sense of loss when you're doing that, you know?
Right. Well, it really is, because and we've seen this online a lot where people are grieving the lives that they thought they had, the lives that they had before, the lives that they were planning for in the future that are now up in the air. It's all going to change. And that there's a lot of grief to that, whereas we just never had that.
Right.
We've even confused doctors and therapists when they're like, so when you were diagnosed, did you grieve? And you're like, no. For us, it was a huge relief to know that we were not crazy.
I almost threw a party, like legit.
I know.
We were going to do an EDS party.
It would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
IE?
IE, yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, like, I think there was a tiny bit of mourning when we got to the point where it was affecting our lives. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, because there was a time when I lost several jobs because I could not physically keep up.
No,
and then I thought I was mental. Like, I had problems that I just couldn't take care of. And I wasn't, like, I didn't think I was different. I just thought I wasn't able to do what other people could.
Right. Well, because we went through, and yeah, I think you're right. Because I guess the undiagnosed times were a period of grief, right?
Mm-hmm.
A period of like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Why can't I do what other people can do so easily?
Exactly.
Why is this so difficult for me? Why am I lazy?
Oh my God.
Like, why do I need to sleep so much? Do I actually need to sleep so much? Am I depressed? And having people tell you that it's your mental health, or it's anxiety, or it's you wanting attention, or
oh my God.
Like there were 100 other things that were crammed into that. And so, yeah, we had a period of not knowing where we stood with reality. Right.
No, we felt like we were just out of place.
Yeah.
Which we were. We just didn't have a diagnosis behind it.
Right.
So when we found out what it was like, oh, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
And then we were able to adjust our lives to fit around EDS and around POTS, and, you know, like, that's why I feel lucky that I didn't develop it later, because that would hurt so bad, I think.
Well, because it's easier for us to, like, we talk about baseline a lot, right? Like, it's easier for us to adapt and create a new baseline within the illness and within new symptoms arising, and within, like, flare-ups and surgeries and whatever it is. All of those things, we're able to kind of rein in the peaks and the valleys and create that new baseline so that we can continue to function to the best of our ability. Yeah.
But we've been doing it our whole lives.
Right, exactly. It's still hard for us to it's hard for us to let the standard of functionality change, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That we do get. I mean, I'm sure it happens to everyone, though. That's like an EDS thing.
Well, because I think when you become ill, it's easier to be like, this is exceptional.
Right.
And be like, this is impacting my life, and it's huge, and it's a real thing that's happening to me, and I have no control. And like, it's easier to accept those things as opposed to us, where we're like, I have always been able to baseline.
Right.
Like when my face kicked in,
God.
So I had like a 6-week period, maybe longer. I don't even know.
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months of trigeminal neuralgia that came out of nowhere, and I'd never had it before, and it was earth-shattering. Like,
oh yeah,
I was not me.
You hit your 10 for the first time.
Yeah. I don't use 10. almost ever, and that I hit 10, and I hit 10 several times within that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going through that grief of like, why can't I make this baseline?
Exactly.
Why can't I create a new baseline? Why can't I adapt?
Right.
And I had never really had that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we're good at adapting. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. As opposed to like developing it later, where see, I think it happens even like post them getting diagnosed. You still have to like take the hurdles of losing new things all the time, because it's always changing.
Yeah.
Like
that's easier for us than it is for them, because it's like losing a part of your functioning that you knew you had. Like, and that's the problem. It's not the problem, but that's the real big difference, is that we didn't have a like grass was greener before.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, this is my life and has always been.
Well, could you like imagine that like you develop EDS, or you find out you have EDS, right? And you're in your like 40s.
Yeah.
And then 2 years in, it's different.
Yeah.
Like it changes on you. And you're like, what? I didn't think it was going to do this. Like you're not expecting it to be like change or get worse in that way.
Right.
Because
it evolves.
It does. And it's so weird. And like, it's not predictable.
No.
You know, it's like
not
my knee hurts
all.
now.
Yeah.
Or my side hurts. Like tonight, I swear to God, my neck is going to be killing me for some reason.
Right.
Like there's no playbook.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because for us, we describe it this way even to doctors, where we're like, it's not like we have a symptom that's bothersome, or two symptoms that are consistent and bothersome. We wake up, we spin the wheel, and you get handed like a few things. You're like, oh, here's your prize, and it's gonna be knee pain.
Picture it like you spin the wheel, you get whatever, and then you go to the demon that's next to the wheel, right? And he's like, well, okay, so you've got this today. Here are your 3 spoons. Right. Have fun. Like, this isn't fair.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're gonna fall down the stairs because your knees are gonna give out, and then you're gonna dislocate your shoulder, and then your ankle's gonna hurt really bad for no reason.
Yeah.
Seemingly. Yeah. So, also, you know that thing that was really bothering you for the last like 6 weeks?
It's gone.
It's gone now.
It's completely gone. You'll forget it even happened.
Yeah, we don't know what. I don't know. It timed out.
It did.
It's
on cooldown.
Yeah. It's crazy. And so someone who like is new to the illness, that can be really, I guess, like demoralizing.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can't predict it, and you feel like you're like subject to this crazy storm that's just throwing more stuff at you.
Yeah.
And at random.
Well, it's like what you said earlier. Like control, I think, is a huge part of it.
Yes.
And we kind of can function without control, but we also like adapt to everything.
Yes.
So like
that's our version of control.
Exactly.
Like I can work through it.
Like
I can work through it.
Yeah, it's like they have to learn that. Fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because can you imagine going from functioning normally or almost normally and normally?
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean. Like a typical well person who maybe even plays sports.
Oh yeah.
Who is super active and who hikes and who dances and who like all of these different things that you're doing, you're living your life, and then you get smacked out of the blue. Like you had a car accident and now guess what? Your EDS is in full swing.
You have EDS. What does that mean? Everything. You have everything now.
Everything all at once. Nothing makes sense and everything's possible. Good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's I can't imagine having that comparison in your head and then losing functioning that way.
Yeah.
Because for them, like, because other people, an injury is an injury, and it's a big deal.
That's the problem we have with all the doctors.
Yeah.
They try and treat it like we've had an incident.
Yes.
And that incident is somehow the catalyst for all the problems we have.
Right.
But it's not. It's not. It just isn't.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. And EDS is just weird. Cause like I was talking to my therapist yesterday, and I was telling her that I injured my back and that I've been working out anyway. And she's like, should you be doing that? And I was like, this is my entire life. is like, yeah, I injured myself doing something stupid, and I didn't injure myself. Let's be clear.
Right.
I got into my bed or off of the bed. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
But it was in the bed. That's a normal person thing to be doing.
Well, and it's not like, I imagine people would be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have jumped out of bed or jumped into, you know, like,
Right.
no, it's like I picked up the blanket, moved it to the right, and then went to move, and then my back was broken.
Yeah. And then it popped, and then I've been in pain since then. And that's like, doctors get on our case because they're like, well, did you get it checked out?
Like, I can't have
And you're
everything
like,
checked out, guy.
No.
I can't live in the ER because I break when I move.
Right. You're like, oh, guys, come back. It's my shoulder.
Yeah, gotta find out.
Oops, I moved. Oops.
Oops.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine, like, because for us, even being, like, growing up ill, we still received symptoms in steps.
Yeah.
But by then we were used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, no, this is a normal progression of stuff.
Yeah.
And every year is different. And we learned that every year was going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And some years were better and some years were worse. And
very true.
Sometimes each season can bring its own challenges. I don't know why I said sometimes. They do.
They do. Yeah.
They
Again,
do.
it's the wheel. You spin the wheel.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
But having something that's like hugely unpredictable, that changes all the time, that has, and the other part is that Ehlers-Danlos is not presented as this degenerative thing.
Right.
But in reality, it is degenerative.
I mean, 5 of my 6 surgeries were to fix degeneration.
Right.
Right.
And that's the part that, like, not a lot of people are clear on when talking about Ehlers-Danlos. Like, it's like, oh, I have a genetic condition and it makes me super stretchy and
yeah. Well, I don't think the doctors that know about it don't equate the stretchiness to the damage that you do because you're stretchy. Like, we move weird.
Yeah.
We slip, like, we dislocate, we sublux and do bad things all the time.
Right. Well, and the in and out that happens, because even if we weren't relocating things, we learned how to relocate things through life. But again, like, these are all skills that they don't have. They're not coming to the table knowing how to relocate their slipped
I was gonna
patella.
say, like, imagine if, like, you had your knee stuck that one time. You called me and were like, how do you fix this? And I was like, well, you just gotta hold your kneecap and then kick your leg up.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Done.
But God help you if you, like, you don't know what to do.
Right. No, getting stuck on the floor, like, when both my knees go and I'm stuck on the floor, I would just be dead.
Call 911 now? I don't know.
I can't move. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I don't remember where I was going with that necessarily.
But it's okay. We got to get onto this. Talking about the journey versus the cure. So, like, if you catch EDS in your late years,
if it catches you in your late years and you've been running faster than it so far,
you'll find out you have a diagnosis, and a lot of people look for the cure or a single solution to all of the problems.
What's the treatment?
Right.
Yeah. And
even like looking at it like a surgery will fix you isn't the right mindset you want. Like, there isn't a cure. Right. And surgery's not going to fix everything.
Right.
It'll improve your quality of life.
Yeah.
And like Ruth said, it's like they add up. If you do lots of little things to improve your quality of life, like exercising or doing surgeries, little things can add up to make your life a lot more copable.
Right.
Like,
right.
You're able to do and function better.
Right. Improve your functionality, because the big thing is, don't go out there looking for a cure.
Right.
Don't walk out or put your trust in the hands of people who are trying to sell you a cure.
Oh, yeah.
Either,
that's
because
a big one.
It's Ehlers-Danlos. There's not going to be a magic cure. But like you said, like, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do independent of one another.
Yeah.
That combined can lead to a healthier way of living.
Yeah.
Like, exercise is really important. But if you're doing exercise, make sure you're choosing things that help you with your stability.
Yes. Well, and I think as far as EDS goes, like exercising should be done with a trainer.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure your forms are right.
Right.
Yeah, or PT.
Yeah.
Same thing though. Like, you want to make sure that you're moving correctly because you don't move correctly.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's like 90% of my problem. I can do all of those exercises.
Yeah.
I'm going to do them wrong.
Right. And it's when you start addressing the proper form that your body goes, oh, no.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah. Because we're going to move wrong because it's about compensation.
Yep.
And your body is a lot smarter than you think it is. and it compensates whether you think it's doing it or not.
Oh, yeah.
But really, it's a road. It's the long road that you're gonna walk. That's
Yep.
gonna have hills and valleys, and sometimes you're gonna be feeling like you're climbing Everest.
Yeah. Well, in other
It's
days you'll
hard.
be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll wake up and have a good day and be like, am I sick?
Did
at
it go?
all?
Is it gone?
Is it gone forever?
Right.
No, it's not.
And if you
But
have imposter syndrome,
Cherish those good days.
those are the days where you're like, I think I made it up.
I know.
I've
been
insane.
faking this entire time, and today I've decided to stop.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a long road filled with medical care. It's going to be a long road filled with different therapies and
Hmm.
trying different medications and trying different procedures
Yeah.
to try to improve your quality of life.
Yes.
But you're not going to be the same way that you were prior to the first flare up.
Hmm.
Because honestly, even if it's your first flare up, you've probably been moving wrong that
yeah.
entire time, and you probably have damage to joints from things that you didn't even know you were doing.
Well, it's like we said at the beginning. Our dad has quirks.
Yeah.
And he still has like damage that he's
Mhm.
done. Like he had really bad ankles. I remember we had a conversation
Yeah.
about it because he never used his ankles properly, and he
Mhm.
wore boots that would compensate.
Yeah.
So he had to work on his ankles a ton.
Yeah.
And that was just, I mean, one little thing,
Right.
but it,
Yeah.
it
And
adds up.
it's a lot of mindfulness, and
Hmm.
God help you find good mental health care too.
Oh yeah, we talk about how we look for it. We've never really said that we should tack it on to care,
Yes.
but we absolutely should.
Right. Especially if you're going through that grief.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if you've watched our music review at all, hurt and grieve but don't suffer alone
Right.
is that message there, is because you're not alone. You don't have to be alone. You don't deserve to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Your grief is your grief, and it's expected and appropriate
Yeah, it's normal.
and normal for you to go through, because you're losing something, and you're
Mhm.
losing something that even you, like, what you thought your future might look like.
That was a
That's
hard
the-
pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I was like, I'm gonna go to school, and then I couldn't keep up in school because I couldn't physically do things.
Yeah.
So then I went to online school, and then I had fatigue so bad that I couldn't keep up with the course load, because I also was like, I'm gonna do full course loads every time,
Yeah.
always, and work full time.
And then have ADHD at the same time.
Oh god, dude, it was so
That's really fun. Yeah.
I had great grades in college when I could do things.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't able to keep up with everyone, and I was like, I'm the problem.
I know. I remember there was so much self-hate for me around going through my bachelor's,
Oh yeah.
because I struggled so hard to get through it, to
Mhm.
like sit down and do it, and to work full time at the same time, and
Right.
to have all these different things going on, and to not know what was happening to me. And like, it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was.
And it was, let's see, 5 years until I was diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 years after starting my bachelor's, I was diagnosed. And I think it took me that long to finish my bachelor's,
Mhm.
because it was just so hard, like you said, like to try to do these things that were like expected of you.
Yep.
Or that you were like, this is the road that people take. Why am I struggling?
Mm-hmm.
Why is my road strictly uphill?
Why is it
don't
a permanent
understand.
incline? I don't
Yeah.
like this.
Where am I going? Stairway to heaven.
Why do they get the escalator?
Right?
not fair.
Jeez. But know that it's not you. Like, it's not, there's no character flaw in anything that you're going through.
It's like, yes, EDS will be a unique experience to you.
Yep.
But you're not the only one going through unique experiences.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and the more we talk and the more we hear from people who watch us or listen to us, we know that there are so many like unique experiences, just weird stuff, weird stuff.
Yeah.
That people come back to us and they're like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
I thought I was going crazy.
Oh, we still get it too.
I
like-
didn't know that like, what?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We'll go through. We have a section for what do we call it?
Symptoms
and
venting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yes, that is a thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But that, make sure that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going through. And it's hard to give advice because that's not our experience.
Right.
But we can tell you to be careful in trying to find community.
Yes.
Because, and we've heard this from our followers as well,
Mhm.
it can be really hard when you're like in a Facebook group and the only way to get interaction is to like have the biggest problem at the time, like,
Right.
and it's drama and competing to be the most ill, to be validated in those spaces where it's not personal and it's not.
It's hard and it seems like in the big groups especially
Well,
that you run into a lot of that. And bad advice that people will shove on you and be mad when you don't follow their advice. It's weird. It's like, I'm just gonna plug us again, Discord. Right. Our community is just so supportful. Like, if anything happens to anybody and you need to talk about it or ask questions, somebody there will know or have experienced it.
Exactly.
They can point you in the right direction.
Then like, hey, that happened to me. It turned out to be this thing.
Right.
This is what I did about it. You might try this or this. Or
well,
this.
And we have people that aren't even like EDSers.
Oh, yeah.
We have other invisible illnesses. We have mental illnesses. Like,
well, because that's the thing is like you said, these unique experiences,
mm-hmm.
there are so many parallels that we've seen with people who don't have any of the conditions that we have.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to be like, yeah, I relate to this.
Yep.
This experience that you go through when you are someone who is chronically ill.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel like you have to have Ehlers-Danlos to be included or to feel that community, that sense of community.
Absolutely not.
Because it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And our whole platform is based on peeling back that curtain so that people aren't suffering alone.
Right. And you're not alone. That's our whole spiel.
Right.
Is that you're not alone.
Yeah.
We made this channel and the podcast because we couldn't find a community.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured we would just make one.
Right.
Make what we're lacking.
Yeah. So yeah, find community. Make sure you have your mental health care professional on board.
Yeah.
Because it's a journey and it's a long road to walk, full of new discoveries as you go through it. Because new symptoms will pop up and there will be comorbidities that pop up or flare up or come into existence that are really common within the condition.
Yeah. Well, and even this is something I just thought of, but like, especially if you're going to be looking at mental health, you got to think that your place in society is going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
Like, and the way people treat you.
Right. Well, and your journey to accepting that in society too, because there's a lot of like nuance to being able to say, yes, I'm disabled.
Mm-hmm. It took us a long time.
And we grew up ill. And so it took us a long time.
Like a year ago, to be like, until we were comfortable saying like we're disabled.
Because we felt like we were taking from somebody else.
Exactly.
When we used it. But for other people, it might be a mark of shame.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be really difficult too. To be like, I'm admitting defeat by saying this. But you're not.
I was going to say,
you're acknowledging a fact, and then you can make a plan to act within that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not defeat.
No.
You're still fighting.
Right. And you're not alone. You're not weak.
Yeah. No.
It's not fake.
No.
It's like she likes to say, if you're doing it alone, you're not doing it for attention.
Right.
It's legitly happening.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. Like, I love that saying.
That hit us so hard because it was like, if this is happening when you're by yourself, it's probably not for attention. Yeah. Whew. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Because, for a long time. And be aware, like, imposter syndrome is going to smack you in the face a lot of the time, just in general, because you're going to be looking online and going, well, other people are worse off.
I hate that. I hate that so much. That's like an instinct that happens. Like, you want to relate, and you're like, I don't deserve it because I don't have all the horrible pain.
Right.
I just have this thing. It's like, no, you still count.
Yeah.
Like,
suffering is suffering. Suffering is a universal experience. Are you missing your water, dear?
I found my water.
Oh, okay. And we're really big on like, don't compare your suffering to other
right,
people.
no comparative suffering.
Yeah, we're not doing comparative suffering because it's not helpful, it's not constructive, and it's only going to tear you down.
Yeah.
Because we're hard on ourselves, and that's what we do.
Exactly. It's like our community is the opposite, right? Like we're hard on ourselves, so they're not.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
Oh,
And then they make us go, stop being nice to me.
No, they're great people.
Yeah.
And you could literally go to them with any problem.
Yeah.
Even if it was just like a financial problem.
Yes.
There are people there that will be able to help you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just saying.
But I think one of the big things that I want to drive home before we go on break is that to obtain that healthier mindset, to regain some of your hope and your confidence within discovering and becoming ill, is to understand that you are not your body.
Absolutely.
First. Like I said, find community. Don't be alone. Find mental health support. It's gonna be a road. It's gonna be a hard time to find the doctors that you need to work with, and understand that if you get ick feelings from a doctor or the way they've treated you or treated your reports of your symptoms, find a new doctor.
Yeah.
Do that.
Right.
Do that. Don't settle.
Go find our episode about doctor shopping.
Yes.
Because it sounds bad. You say doctor shopping, it has like a negative connotation, but it's needed. You need to find a doctor that'll be a team.
Yes. And make you a member of that team.
Yeah.
You are going to need to be active in your care because you're living it. And I think the big thing is that you're looking for improvement, not perfection.
100%.
And that's I've seen a lot of people stumble there.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like, is this gonna fix me?
And it's so sad. You see it like those people tend to be the ones that are like, oh, I did this surgery and it didn't work.
Nobody do this because it's the worst thing, and
right.
I was in pain and it didn't fix me.
Right.
Because nothing's gonna fix you. You're looking for improvement. Also, don't fear surgery. Don't be afraid to try treatment.
Right.
Like, not just surgery. Like, don't be intimidated. Make friends with medicine.
Yeah.
Because it's a long road and a lot of doctors and a lot of doctors' offices and a lot of failed treatments to get to the right ones.
We wouldn't be here if we avoided surgery.
Yeah.
I've had 6. You've had 4 or 5?
3.
Shoulders and hips?
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 3. You need to do your left shoulder at some point.
I do.
But
it's bad.
These are things that are temporary too. They tell us ahead of time, like you're going to damage it more and you'll need more surgery.
Right. But it's going to stretch back out.
Yeah.
Because it is. Your ligaments are, they are foobar.
Yeah.
They can pull them in, shorten them, and tighten them. Yeah. But again, like, you're not going to prevent them from stretching over time.
Yeah. So like,
in my case,
yeah. Like we both had problems lifting our arms up.
Yeah.
Like we had to so bad.
It was like you had to, it was like picking a lock.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get your arm
moving your joint through all of the bone spurs and all the ligaments, the muscles and whatnot to get it up was a fight.
Shredded labrums and
oh my God.
Yeah.
I still have a shredded labrum on my left side. But surgery. Yeah. Like we're here doing this now because we've done so much.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like you can't fear pain. And I'm sorry that it's new to you. And I'm sorry that you're experiencing this all so fresh. And it hurts. It hurts. And we can't, there's no way to get around that without just being flat out about it. Like, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So don't fear the pain, because the pain passes. The pain is temporary. And when you learn that the pain does not mean what your brain wants it to mean, because pain serves a purpose, right?
Right.
It's
danger.
To tell you that you are in danger or you have injured yourself and that you need to do something about it.
Yeah.
But when you're chronically ill, pain is not. It's just kind of that like beeping alarm in the back.
It's the car that you're not maintaining, right? Your oil light comes on, and you're like,
right?
No,
you're like,
I'm not checking my oil.
No.
Right.
Yeah. But don't fear the pain.
And it gets different. That's a big one. If you're in a bad spot, you wait. It's hard to do, and it sounds mean, but just give it time.
Yeah.
And it gets different.
Right. Well, and remember that like today is not tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
and they're different days. They're different days on purpose.
Yeah.
So you can have a different day. But yeah, I don't know. Any other pieces of advice?
Yeah, we should do break. We're gonna go on break.
So. Yeah.
And we're gonna let you watch a really cool commercial that has my voice that I hate.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I'm not in it.
Yeah, yours is still around though. And then we're gonna talk about researching, like how to get actual like.
Yeah. How to get caught up on your own care.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how to present those ideas to your doctor without being the Wikipedia or,
the Google doctor.
Yeah, don't Google
doc
yourself.
Like that. So, what do they need to do?
They need to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. Actually, don't do those things.
No, please do.
to do.
Cool. Yeah.
But also take your meds if you haven't taken your meds yet.
Yes.
If you've been putting it off.
Yep. Drink your water.
Why?
Hydrate or dehydrate.
Oh.
Do
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Do it. Do it. It's good for you. Water. Do it.
And then find a snack if you need one.
Yes.
Because you are a snack.
You are a snack.
Wink. That's for the people who listen. I winked.
Wink.
It was very hot. You liked it a lot. Trust
me. It was adorable.
I connected with you deeply when I did it.
Take a break if you can,
break,
or if you need to. It doesn't have to be a long break, and it doesn't have to be forever. But also, if you take a break and your body goes, no more, listen.
Yeah.
It's okay to be done for today.
It's hard to do, but it's worth doing.
Yeah. Be kind to you. You deserve to be kind to yourself. Come on now.
And then find some sunlight if you can.
Yep.
Go outside for a little bit.
Yep.
And if you can't, find something fluffy.
Yeah.
Pet, fluffy blanket, something.
Yeah.
You need cozy.
Something cozy. Something that feels good for you.
Yep.
We're going to go do some of those things ourselves.
Yep.
And then we'll be right
back.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, hi. Do you like Fantastic Pains? Would you like to see more of the Fantastic Pains podcasting crew? If so, you should join our Patreon. The Patreon, as we like to call it, is the new home of our behind-the-scenes content, full uncut recording sessions, our short-form videos such as TikToks and YouTube Shorts, and our past live streams. You can also find some Patreon exclusive content such as our new music reviews, lost episodes, and is the new home of our Mini Voices series, all of which can be found in our higher tier dubbed The Only Pains. The Patreon is the best way to support the podcast, so whether you want to see more of us or just want to help us grow, feel free to sign up following the link in the description below, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back. How was your break?
Did you do some of the things?
Yeah.
Any of the things?
Even a little?
If you didn't, you still have time. You can pause it and do some of the things.
True.
But we're going to jump into our second half.
Yes.
But
first, you wanted to start.
Oh, yes.
You remembered a thing.
I remembered what I was trying to say about it being degenerative. So, even though it's not thought of as a degenerative condition, it really is, because we're talking about like not only joint damage and ligament damage, we're also talking about nerve damage, which is a really big one that people seem to like omit.
Yeah, it doesn't get talked about.
By, and people are not like paying attention to that. Because a lot of us like either diagnosed with fibromyalgia or have like some form of neuropathy.
Oh yeah.
And so I've got I started gabapentin way back when, even pre-diagnosis, because my nerve pain was so bad.
Yep.
And now I have small fiber neuropathy, and you're dealing with that as well.
I can't feel my foot.
Yeah.
My right foot has zero feeling in it.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It makes my life hard.
Yeah. Well, and you're saying it's losing mobility now.
Yeah.
Which is...
Got to get those nerves fixed.
Yeah. But this happens because of what they assume anyway is that it is compression injuries.
Yeah.
So for my shoulder, when I was having all that nerve pain in my hand and through my arm before I got my shoulder repaired, was due to the fact that it was dislocating over and over again.
And yanking on them.
Pinching nerves and pulling on nerves repeatedly, and it's not good.
Real quick, if you have EDS, stretch your arms out as far as you can go and feel everything get yanked in, like your veins and your nerves.
Super gross.
Oh, but it feels weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah. Yicky.
Especially when it's cold out.
Makes you feel like your body's too tight.
Yes.
And you're like, I need more room.
Like someone poured you into this really tight suit and you're like, I can't get out.
Yeah. And your nerves are just pulling. Ugh, yucky.
Yeah.
Don't like
now
it.
my hand feels weird. Great.
Oh,
I shouldn't have done that.
But yes. So in this half, we're going to talk about like research and reliable sources,
Mm-hmm.
and how to bring your research and your findings to your medical professionals and your team.
Right. Because let's say you were just recently diagnosed. That's not the end of it. There's so many comorbidities and like weird things that your body will do now.
Right.
Well, not now, but you'll find out. Oh, the weird hand thing in the morning.
Morning hands?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of the thing.
Yes. Well, and especially when it comes to like the trifecta of evil,
Yeah.
right? Where you have Ehlers-Danlos, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or
Mhm.
POTS, and mast cell activation syndrome, or MCAS.
I have MCAS bad.
Yes, we both do. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I am highly allergic to working out.
I'm allergic to not being allergic to things because that's when I break out.
Oh.
When there's like no pollen, there's no reason to be like,
It's like, boom.
swelling. My body's like, now we do it. And then I'm like an inflatable. They pull the cord and I just go, poof. And then I'm bright red and swollen. Like, great.
The other thing to realize is that like not a lot of people are well educated in Ehlers-Danlos and its comorbidities. So like we said, you're gonna have to doctor shop a bit, and it's important that they understand your condition and you understand your condition, but also understand that there's gonna be doctors who look at you and they go, "You're a mystery,"
Yeah.
or "Oh my God, you're so weird,"
Mhm.
or "That's fascinating. I've never heard of that before."
Won't even be just doctors. I mean,
No.
your
Oh,
trainer does
everybody.
it,
Yeah.
right? Like your heart rate change. You were doing potsy things,
Uh-huh.
and he
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
that was
"Whoa."
That was the one this week. We had to sit down a lot, and
Mhm.
he put me on an incline, and that worked really well. But then it was just funny this last week because we had to keep stopping because my heart rate would go from like 125 to like 178
Yep.
in just a second. And he was just like, "It goes up so fast and doesn't come down."
It doesn't
like,
follow reason.
Yeah. And it does it after I've done the movement.
Mhm.
So not during the movement, after I finished the movement and have stopped.
Yep.
My heart rate climbs. So you're going to have weird quirks, and you're going to have people be like, "What? You're super, super weird." And you're going to feel like you're like collecting diagnoses.
Yeah.
But it is important to have those diagnoses because that's how you get appropriate care.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't let them tell you don't need a diagnosis, let alone all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can name like all the little things we have now for the most part.
Yeah.
Because we get a symptom and then we analyze it, we do research,
Yeah.
and then
Well, it was like the discovery of the movement disorder
yeah.
for me. Like I had to do the research.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do the research in connection to Ehlers-Danlos. I had to do the research in connection to small fiber neuropathies.
Yeah.
I had to do the research to bring to my old neurologist in order to be like, "Look, I think this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that I've learned." And then even then, it's hard because I had one neurologist who was really gung-ho,
Yeah.
and then he left. And then I had this next one who was like, I don't know. I also don't care to know. Thank
that
you.
honestly feels like every experience I have. Once I find a really good doctor, they leave because they're good.
Yeah.
And they end up moving upwards, and it's like, but you should have stayed because we need you.
We need you, God, or trained doctors.
Do you remember
Jesus.
Chastain? The
Yeah.
first. Oh my God, I loved him so much. He had rheumatoid arthritis in his hands, especially, and he had surgery.
My hands are so hot.
Oh my God, you're on fire.
I am burning.
Uy,
Hot
fuego.
hands. Hot hands.
Hot
Look
hands.
how red they are, guys. Look at this.
Do you see the heat shimmers coming off? She's on fire.
But Chastain, yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved him, and he only lasted like a few months with me before he got moved into head of surgery.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man.
Rude. Stop getting moved up. It's sad for us.
Yes, very.
We don't like it when you leave us.
Yeah.
It's not nice. But so I think diving in, we could talk about the research and what that might look like for you,
Mm-hmm.
and how to find reliable sources.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't really. I do research, but then I don't really verify it. You know what I mean? Like I I hypothesize.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I read this somewhere, and then I try it out. You know what I mean? Like if.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I'm
You,
like testing
apply
it that way instead of like looking up like
Yeah.
more credible sources. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this sounds like it could be the thing, and then I go test it, and I either go, yeah, it was that, or I go, that was stupid. Why did I think that was a thing that was connected? That's dumb. You know what?
Oh no.
It happens.
Well, when I'm doing the research, like I'll be looking at the same symptom for months on
Oh,
end before I
yes.
even bring anybody any findings.
Mm-hmm.
And those months go by because putting it into Google is really hard.
Yeah.
To get like what you need identified. So usually what happens is I look up the symptoms. If something pops out at me, I grab that and take it back to symptom in EDS or diagnosis or whatever it is in EDS and see if there's a connection or a correlation within people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome because we are prone to a lot of weird things like dystonia, which is abnormal muscle like twitching, jerking, or contracting, which happens to me a lot. And like the hiatal hernia,
or dysphagia.
Really prone to dysphagia and gastric issues and like the whole nine. So those things usually I take whatever it gives me
and then search it
apply
under
it to EDS.
Yeah. Well, it's like the trick is finding the right word too. Like it's even with
the
doctors,
right combination of words.
you have to find the keyword that'll make them understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like Google's better about it.
Yeah.
Because doctors you could tell a doctor something straightforward and they could be like, oh, you said something about like pressure. So that means that it's your heart rate. It's like, no, that wasn't at all the thing.
When I was looking for the answers for the movement disorder for the dystonia, I said, she asked me if it happened in my eyelid. And I was like, sometimes.
Oh,
and then she grabbed onto that and she was like, it's that. And I was like, in my whole body? She was like, yep. And I was like, no. Because that term refers to muscle spasms in the eyelid.
Yep.
And only in the eyelid.
Literally.
That's not a term for other things. What are you doing? So, unfortunately, when you are chronically ill or have complex illnesses, you are going to have to be the most active member of your care team.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And if you find somebody, hold on to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Just...
There are people you want to keep.
Yeah.
And you need to keep.
Make best friends with them. Help raise their children. I don't know. Like,
have them join your commune.
Don't let them go anywhere.
Keep them in your basement. Don't let the chains off. Give them all the science they need.
Here's the science. Now make me better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But with research, I know other people do it differently. Like Ruth is extremely good at the like empirical reasoning pieces.
Fantastic.
And is amazing at tracking it, but my ADHD is so bad I don't track anything. I use him as a tracker most of the time. So if I'm like looking to see, earlier today I even looked, I was like, want to see how many times Evan has occurred. Like my face is hurt. And I just search Evan under our conversation and it all pops up with the dates. And I'm like, this is great. But if you're good at tracking, do that. That's awesome. Because data is so important. Doctors are more likely to take you seriously if you come to the table with data over time. And that's the really hard one, is the overtime.
Yep. I mean, that's a good transition. Because, I mean, as far as research goes, it's Google and then it's community. Like, find people that have similar conditions or, you know, and then test out your theories. Yeah. That's all you can really do.
Well, and I will say that the Facebook groups are good for, like, putting a shout out there to be like, hey, has anyone else experienced this? What was that like? Tell me about your experience.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you'll find other people who've gone through that or similar to that and are able to help you.
Yeah. But then how do you present that to your doctor, right?
Right.
Because, like, I've had this happen so many times where I'm like, I think it's this. And they go, no, it's not.
Yeah.
You're dumb for thinking that. Yeah. Well, they don't say the last part, but it's implied. Well, it's heavily implied.
My favorite is like, they want to resist that being the answer, even if it is, just because you said it.
And then like
the patient can't diagnose
several
themselves.
visits down the line, they bring it back like, oh, hey, have you thought about this? And you're like, no, I haven't.
Give me the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh God, it's really hard because your doctors have gone to school for a very long time and they've worked really hard to get where they are. And they have massive egos.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. Maybe well earned, but also super not helpful.
Right?
Not helpful. So you kind of have to stroke the ego
and
lead them down the road.
Right. You have to Like, it's what we do. And again, this isn't, I've said this every time. It's
Yeah.
not us looking for a certain answer.
Right.
It's just trying to get them to come to the same conclusion as you if it fits.
Yeah.
It's not like it has to be.
It's just to get them to consider it even.
Yeah.
If you can be like, hey, I saw that this is pretty common with EDS
Mm-hmm.
and it matches a lot of the symptoms I'm having. Can we look into this? And if you say, can we look into this? It sounds like you don't really have the answer, so they're not so threatened by
Right.
it. And if they tell you no, you can't look into that, you know what you do? You tell them that you need them to document the refusal.
I love that. Yep.
If ever a doctor tells you no for something, tell them to document the refusal.
100%.
They might document the refusal because they think that it is justified. That's fine. But they also might be like, oh no, okay,
I don't want
never
that.
mind.
I don't want proof of that at being
We're
a
going to
thing.
go back a step and do what you want.
It works really well, honestly.
Well, and the other thing is, like, as soon as you've built trust with doctors, you're going to have so much more freedom and ability to be an active part of your care team.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to trying to, like, okay, come on. Cookie, come
Yeah, when you
here.
can actually have a conversation with
here.
them and be like, I
Yeah.
read about this article or this research that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you think this could be applicable to me? And they're like, oh, I don't know about it. Let me do research.
Yeah.
Having those conversations is so nice.
Right. Well, and, like, Dr. Wright is amazing because when I bring him
Because his last
things-
name is Dr. Wright.
Right.
He's correct.
He's correct. But when I bring him things, he can look at me and be like, okay, you know your body best, which is crazy
Yep.
to have a doctor, like, acknowledge that. But it took time. It took time to build.
Yeah.
But you know your body best. If you think it's that, I mean, it's possible. Here's the reasons I might not think it's that thing, but let's get you referred so that they can get it checked out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But understand that, like, if you're hunting for an answer and you think you know what it is, it's still going to take time
Yes.
before you can confirm or deny it.
Right.
And that can be really difficult
Mm-hmm.
in the waiting phase.
Yeah, well, because there's always like, either you bring what you think to your primary, and it's usually either a referral or tests that
Mhm.
have to happen next. So you're
Yeah.
going to do imaging, or you're going to get a referral that's going to be a few months out.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get in, they're going to tell you that they want testing, and you have to go do testing
Yeah.
anyway.
And then you have to have another appointment.
Oh God, it's so
It's going to be
annoying.
3 more weeks out.
Yep.
So, I mean, in no way is this easy,
No.
but it is something that you're going to need to master in order to have your needs met.
Yeah.
Because our society is not one that is set up for the understanding and care of people with complex illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
It can be really difficult.
I'd say also bring in a buddy. The accountability buddy
yes.
for when you're trying to present an idea is very helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know
Especially
why.
if they've witnessed that symptom
Exactly.
or the impact of that symptom.
Right.
Because they can say, no, it's hugely disruptive to your life.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it and it looks like this.
Exactly.
And it happens at these times.
Yep.
Like, this is what I've noticed about it. Or, hey, buddy, this is what you're leaving out.
Mhm.
Don't forget to tell them this.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you get like intimidated,
Yeah.
right? If you're like with a really aggressive doctor,
Yeah.
like that like is pushing ideas and just flat out ignoring what you're saying.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's gonna be like, excuse me, that's not at all it.
Right.
Because you're gonna be like beat down.
Yeah.
Like it's happened
Yeah.
to me where I've gone in and I'm just like I can't get a word out because
Well, it's like those people who, like, you're using marijuana. You go in and you're like, my stomach's messed up. And they're like, it's the weed. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, it's not. I have a hiatal hernia. And they're like, no, it's the weed. And you're like, but I
"Excuse me."
also have a hiatal hernia. Or like gastroparesis.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the vomiting syndrome with marijuana. So.
or being a girl. Go
Or
back
be-
to what
Oh, yeah.
there's a couple of episodes where we talk about this, but being a girl is probably why you're ill. Just know that.
You have a uterus.
If you're a dude, you're probably a girl and you're on your period.
If you're a dude, you're probably. Yeah.
I'm just letting them know
Yeah.
ahead of time.
That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you have anxiety
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being so anxious about
about
being a girl.
everything.
It's fine.
I
Half of the
think-
people do it all the time, and it's fine.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, man. Should we talk about, like, what is a reputable source?
Yeah. Yeah.
So generally I'm looking for things that like start with an abstract.
With an abstract?
Yeah. Because that is your like journals, your scientific papers, your case studies, your blah, 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 blah. It can be a little difficult to slog through, but if you know what your keywords are when you're searching for things, you should be it shouldn't be too difficult to pick up those keywords within and find those passages.
Also, just as an aside,
Mhm.
because this just reminds me of a story. Maybe you know the story. A friend of the podcast
Oh yeah.
would go into medical libraries
Uh-huh.
and look up conditions.
Yep.
And got away with it.
Yep.
I mean, that's brilliant, right? Like, where else are you going to find all the information? Especially
Right.
back in the day. Like, go to the medical library.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, for instance, I've got like, I just put into my phone trigeminal neuralgia in EDS.
Yeah.
Because that's how I confirm those theories to myself to be able to be like, okay, this makes enough sense to move forward with.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first one pops up and it's a neurological manifestations of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a review, and it's nationalinstitutesofhealth.gov. So pretty reputable source, good to go. It was written in 2014, so it's not like awesome,
Right.
not great information, but you keep scrolling a little bit, you find other things to look into. But you're not going to find what you want in like .coms and threads and other like, this is information I pulled straight out of a textbook type things.
Mhm.
You're looking for like studies,
Yes.
because that's what's going to be like, yes, this is a thing that we have found that's common within EDS, or common enough within EDS, and we think that these are the like manifestations and so on.
Yep.
So I'm looking for like the .orgs, the .edus. Ehlers-Danlos Society is good, so they'll have like briefs of information that you can get in there, and it'll tell you like what comorbidities are most common within EDS and all of those things. So yeah, so as long as you're not looking at like mommy blogs.
Yeah. Yes. Ugh.
Yeah, you don't want people who are like, it's TikTok, it's TikTok's fault, and everyone's pretending to be ill now because of TikTok.
I hate
because
that
it's
so
trendy to feel like garbage all the time.
Yeah, it's trendy to suffer.
Yeah.
It's so in right now.
Right.
Spoonies? Spoonies, those are just girls that are making it up and they're in their teens. I'm a teenage girl, apparently.
Yeah. Emma James, we're still mad at you.
Yeah, we didn't forget your name, Emma.
Yeah.
I know you watch this. She has no idea who we are.
No idea.
But she
should.
Yes.
Rude.
Exactly.
But yeah. So, I don't know. The other thing is, like, obviously finding people with EDS.
Oh, yes.
Like I said, you can put those shouts into the Facebook groups, and you're more than likely going to get somebody back who's like, oh, I've heard of this, or oh, my doctor said, or oh, I've been diagnosed with, or oh my God, I have the same thing. I'm following to find out what it is.
Yeah.
So you'll get engagement that way. But yeah, Google's good. Google's pretty good.
No, yeah. If you want to, it's just, you got to have the time and patience.
Yeah.
And when I do like Google research, I always try and double check it.
Yeah.
Like try and find another instance of that somewhere.
Yes.
Because and then I'll test it. That's when I'm like, okay, yeah, I can take that and go.
Yeah.
But
if I see something that's like no results for in EDS, I am always like, it's probably not it.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't have MS. Computer, please stop telling me I do.
Yeah.
Because it does. It likes to tell me I have MS. And I'm like, no, that's not what I have.
Not even close.
I just have crazy compression injuries to all of my nerves.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Do you have any good stories about, I don't know, researching? Because I know we've done you've done ones where like you'll come in and be like, oh, I used this word, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Oh my God, all the time where you're like, you just had to change the language or the order of the words, or like it can be so frustrating because you are literally trying to find the key word
for life.
The key phrase that's gonna get you answers. I know I was doing it with like abdominal adhesions.
Yeah.
Because I have so much pain in my like pelvic girdle.
There was one that it was like you saw somebody for like 3 months, and the third month in a row you changed the wording, and then they were like, "Oh
yeah."
You
It
know what
was,
that was?
allergy because I had
That's right.
my eye would swell up out of nowhere, and I
Yep.
was like, "What is going on here?" And they were like, "No, it's topical. No, it's topical. No, it's topical." And I was like, "Okay, but it like swells up really bad, stops, and then it all peels." And I used the word peel, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, no,
And because he was like, "Oh, if it's peeling, it's a chemical thing, and you should stop using whatever product you're using."
It's
And I'm like,
not.
"But I'm not.
it's not.
using a
It
different
was
product."
wasn't it MCAS related?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I went back and I was like, okay, so I said peel, but what I mean to say is that it dried up and flakes off
Yep.
because the skin is damaged from how swollen it is.
Yep.
And he was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
okay, that makes much more sense. And I
Mhm.
was like, yeah,
That's right,
see?
because we have those the images of you when you would.
Yeah.
And, oh, that's right.
Yeah. Because I was swollen.
Dude, I do that, but it like only like peels under the beard or my hairline. It's like anything here is fine,
Yeah.
but if it swells where there's hair, my skin is coming off.
I get it really bad in my like eyelids and my eyebrows,
Oh,
where it
no,
was
thank
like
you.
always
Oh, yeah.
peeling off and
Here.
flaking in my eyebrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not a fun time. But yeah, there's like,
I mean, there's an example. Like MCAS leads to weird flaky.
Yeah.
Like, go Google
you're gonna
that.
swell up and flake up. I don't know.
Google flaking, and you're gonna be like, dandruff?
Dandruff?
No.
Pretty much of the face.
Yeah, dandruff of the
Um,
soul. That's what
Dandruff
I
of the
have.
soul?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sometimes my heart gets a little too big and swells, and then my
It
soul
just
gets.
sheds.
Yeah, and then I have to shed it off.
What do you do with the dandruff?
Sprinkle it on people like fairy dust.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Does
Just,
it do nice things, or is it just
usually they
a
cough.
habit that you have? It's just,
Just
a
a habit.
weird
It's
habit.
just something
that
I
you
do.
have.
I mean,
I don't know.
well,
I
it's like,
I
ha.
started one day.
Got
and
'em.
No, I just never stopped.
Yeah, we told you it gets crazy. The second half is never straight face.
No.
We can't keep it together that long.
Right. Yeah. But that's the like clinical end.
Yeah.
But yeah. And ask for help. Like the accountability buddy is huge.
It makes such a difference, man. Like
It
I used to
also
do
can't be as awful to you if somebody else is there.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say
Yeah.
earlier. Is that like when they're shooting you down, it seems like they're more amenable to things.
Yeah.
When you're like, but I have a friend here, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, maybe I'll look into that.
Right.
It's like, yeah,
Instead
you
of like,
wouldn't have.
I'm just gonna say no, tell you you're dumb, and that it's your body being your body
Yep.
because you're stupid, and most people don't know their bodies, and I'm a doctor, and I've listened to you for half a second. I touched your chart earlier, and that was
Touched your
enough
chart.
information for me.
Hmm.
So
Faking.
yeah, stop it.
Like it's Braille.
Yeah.
Not
It just,
EDS.
Get a vibe. Just put my they're faking.
Yeah.
Sir, it's a broken leg. They're faking.
You can see the bone, sir.
Sir, in the chart are the x-rays. No. Those aren't my x-rays. They
Those
don't
aren't.
count.
Yeah, they're not real.
I didn't diagnose those
I
x-rays,
didn't
so
diagnose those
if anyone
X-rays.
else did it, it doesn't count.
it doesn't count.
It
I love
doesn't
that.
count.
No, that is a thing.
So you clearly don't have what you clearly have.
Clearly.
Oh man, I do want to go back to the healthier mindset.
Oh yeah. We can end on that. I think that's a
Yeah.
good way to tie it all up.
Friends, it's hard. It's hard. It's a really difficult thing to have to manage.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard enough growing up knowing that something's not right with you, and being able to kind of adapt, because that's what children do, and
Yeah.
what you do when your brain is forming. And we were lucky enough to be neglected, and so we had to figure it out for ourselves a lot of the time anyway. But to stay in a healthier mindset, I think there are a lot of factors to that.
Yeah.
And one of which is self-talk.
Oh, it took us a long time to fix that.
And if you, having had a healthy body for a long time, are now living in a body that is not so healthy,
Mm-hmm.
your self-talk is probably not amazing.
It's probably garbage.
Yeah.
I
So
feel bad for calling their self-talk garbage. Is that like me being mean to their like?
it's trash panda time. I don't know.
Oh, trash panda time. That's for
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you, I don't know, when you identify with your body, or you identify with
As your body.
yeah, as your body or as your condition,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely difficult to be kind to yourself
Yeah.
because you're battling yourself. But in reality, you are you, and you are just the driver of the body.
You're a meat mech.
You're not the body.
You're not.
It's okay. You're not the body. The body's not you. The body is a screaming teenager / toddler
Yeah.
that wants your attention a lot of the time
Mhm.
and will do destructive things to get it. But it's not you.
Yeah. No. And also just keep your mind open to things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I see people get really excited about something coming up, like an appointment or like a surgery
you
or
want
something.
it to go
and it's
one
you,
way.
yeah.
And, yeah.
You build yourself up, and then it hurts so much more when you
Yeah.
find out it's not what you thought it was, or you get a different answer or result.
I think we've talked about that before, where we try to go into situations knowing each possible outcome.
Yeah.
And then here's the tricky part: accepting each
Each one.
possible outcome. And then that leads to the ability to be like, if this, then this.
Hmm.
If this, then this.
Yeah. When you have that mindset, that's a good
Yeah.
one for plugging in the information to get the answer.
Yeah.
You know.
Because then you don't have to be like, oh, that doctor didn't listen to me. I'm crushed. And I'm never going to go to a doctor, let alone this doctor, ever again.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to assume he's right and I'm crazy. And
Yeah.
I'm
And I'll
gonna
never
let
see
him,
another doctor.
like, belittle me for the rest of time.
Yeah. Oh
Don't
yeah.
do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is hard.
It is.
But it's easier when you have company.
I was gonna say, even
Commiserate.
if you're doing everything right, you're still gonna have bad days. Like even if it's just mentally bad days.
Yeah.
I have bipolar too, so I have really bad days, and that's when I reach out to people.
Mhm.
I used to just lock myself away and spiral into oblivion, but now
Right.
it's like I can reach out and be like, "Hey, I'm having a bad manic swing. Talk to me for a second.
Yeah.
I need to know I'm not dying."
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you can identify bad days
Mhm.
and then reach out, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Even just talking to people does it for me.
Right.
Like I don't need much.
Right. Well, because really, what does your pain want from you? It wants to
Right.
be acknowledged, seen, and heard, right?
Mhm.
And if you can be acknowledged, seen, and heard, you can acknowledge, see, and hear your pain.
Yeah.
And then it's easier to not be so in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard when you're in it. And I think that's the value of like not yet.
Yeah.
And the mindset of it gets different,
Mhm.
and you're just waiting for the next different, because time continues to move on no matter what happens.
True.
And things change, and they're going to change.
Yeah.
So even if it's not the outcome you wanted, you have building blocks for a new path,
Mm-hmm.
with new information that you've taken from that experience.
I think that's pretty darn good.
Look at us being good at the words.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah. And self-care. Do
Do
self-care.
Oh my
Please.
god.
I know you're mad at the body. I went through mad at the body for a really long time too,
Same.
because she's an inconvenience.
Yeah, Ezekiel can suck it.
Yeah. Get it. Bitch. But yeah, be kind to the body, speak to the body, but also know that you're not the body.
And if you don't do it for you, do it for others.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself so that you can take care of others.
Right. Well, and we've both been through this journey of like rectifying our self-care.
Yeah.
And rectifying our self-talk and all
Yep.
of those things. And we can tell you it's made a huge difference in our mental health and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
our ability to take on new challenges and move forward.
Yeah, dude. I went from melting down on bad days, like internally, to being able to be in like a full manic depressive swing and be like, I'm waiting for different.
Yeah.
And then Karina will say one thing and I'm like, okay. And that's all I need, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's amazing.
Yeah. It really is when you can like be your whole authentic self and be seen and heard and acknowledged. Like
Mhm.
that's what we need as human beings. That's why we need that connection and why it's so important that you have community with people who actually understand what you're going through.
Yes.
The other thing to acknowledge is that not everybody's going to understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And
It's important.
it's not that they can't, it's not that they don't want to,
They can't.
it's that they can't. Which is why it's important that we find people who are similar to us
Mm-hmm.
and who go through similar things. Because they will understand you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just think about all the times we've met people or you've brought people onto the show
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, I felt so normal and
Yeah.
happy and like everything was good there. And it's like,
You
yeah,
didn't feel like a freak.
because you're
I'm
not.
like, no.
And
You're
it's,
human and you're with other people who are trying to be human.
yeah, exactly.
But know that there is hope and it gets different.
Yeah.
And different can be good and it can be bad or it could be neither. It could just be different.
Yeah.
So,
That goes in. Last thing. Pain isn't bad. There's no morality in pain.
Right.
Okay. And you're not bad for not being happy about it.
Right.
You're not a bad person.
No.
You just have pain.
Yeah.
Like that's.
but don't try not to tell yourself stories about the pain.
Yes, don't.
Because
Do not.
it's not moral. It's not a moral thing. The pain is neutral.
Yeah, it doesn't care.
Just because the signal is stupid and you're like, hi, I did not need to be alerted to that. That's not an emergency.
Like, excuse me, that's just an arm. It's there and it's doing things. It's like, no, man, it's messed up. You're like, yeah, it's fine.
It's
Look
on
at it
fire.
moving.
Yeah, just argue. It's great. But you will be okay. You will get through whatever it is you're getting through now.
Yeah.
You will come out the other side with new learning and new knowledge, and it does get easier
Mm-hmm.
to, I don't want to say bear the pain, but it gets easier to coexist with the pain.
Yeah.
I think is
It's like
where
you
I'm
get
going.
more acquainted with
Yeah.
it, right? Like,
Because it's gonna hurt and I can't stop it and you can't stop it and there's no permanent solution and pills aren't the answer either. Pills are great for bailing out when you need to,
Yeah.
but you're also gonna need to learn how to cope with
Without,
being
yeah.
in pain. So yeah, I don't know. Not a great note to end on,
that's a good note.
but yeah, pain is neutral and it's okay. And it can suck. It's allowed to suck. Let it
Fact.
suck, man.
Let it.
We don't like it. It's not a fun time
Mm-mm.
for anybody.
Well, I don't know. I kind of enjoy it, so
Well,
I'm like, ooh, pain.
We use a lot of humor. That's our oh no, I'm
Deflecting.
sorry.
Deflecting again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But we use a lot of dark humor to cope.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because if it's funny, it's not sad.
And if it's sad,
It's still funny.
it's still funny. Absolutely.
There you go. Should we say goodbye?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can say goodbye.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming along with us on this little bit of tangled journey. I hope you enjoyed the journey versus the cure.
Journey wins. Anyway.
Journey does win. Yeah, it's true. Hopefully you found something useful in this, or you know somebody who could get something out of this. So if you could like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah, shilling.
You know, just shameless shill. But yeah, good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go. All right, friends. We will see you later. But in the meantime, be kind to you, be kind to others, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And she's done.
I just never know how to start the outro.
You do a good job of ending the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's always.
It's like I gotta circle around it real like a shark.
Let's be fair. She's only doing this to perform for the 3 people who get the full episode. I'm just saying.
I'm only doing
This is
what?
all performative.
This is not performative.
This is her being as fake as you'll get her. Look, she thinks she likes ice cream right now. She's fucking lactose intolerant in her spare time.
In my spare time. Not right now though.
No, she's faking.
It's fine.
She's gonna die
Oh.
just for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it's gonna suck.
Oh.
It takes years. It's like dying of heart
Of
problems.
heart. I'm dying
of heart.
Of heart. What's wrong with it? It's beating.
Mm-hmm. It keeps doing that.
It's beating me.
All right.
You looked like you had something to say. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go for real now.
The real goodbye. For the real ones.
And goodbye. Do you want to get the camera?
Yeah, ready?
1, 2,